First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking at this hour, the 10-year-old girl rescued from Edgewater Beach last night is in critical condition and remains unconscious. Firefighters were called to the scene last night just after 8. They gave her CPR until medics arrived. Police have not identified the girl, or they have not provided updates as to the circumstances involved here, but there were small craft and beach advisories yesterday for Lake Erie.
Also breaking, Mackenzie Shirilla's legal team asking a federal court to throw out her murder conviction and grant her a new trial. She's serving 15 to life after the car crash that killed her boyfriend and a friend. Her lawyers argue her original defense failed to present key evidence. For example, a text message they say showed Shirilla's boyfriend had grabbed the steering wheel during a separate driving incident weeks before the crash. This federal filing comes after several unsuccessful challenges in the state court. Thanks for joining us on 19 News First at 4 and streaming on 19 News Plus. A lot to get to today. I'm Nicole Versansky.
And I'm Brian Duffy. Good afternoon. A former mayor pulling a last-second legal maneuver here. He's accused of voyeurism.
So his trial was supposed to start today, but that didn't happen. First at 4, Isabella Roberts with what comes next.
A crime that left many in a small Richland County town in disbelief. A teenage girl set up a hidden camera in her bedroom because she suspected someone had been going through her things. She was right. Police say it caught former Village of Butler Mayor Wesley Dingus walking into her room, picking up her underwear and smelling it twice, just minutes after she left for school. She turned the video over to Richland County Children's Services. An investigation led to Dingus being charged with 2 counts of voyeurism. He was supposed to face a jury this morning. That changed late Tuesday night.
In this instance, defense attorney Jim Mayer had withdrawn his request for a jury trial in this matter, requested a bench trial on the matter.
A bench trial means a judge, not a jury, will decide Dingus's fate. In another twist, the judge assigned to the case recused himself from the case today, saying Dingus is a public figure.
There's no allegation that there is any conflict or any bias or anything like that, but as the judge mentioned, purely the appearance alone is enough to kind of make that request.
So now the Ohio Supreme Court will appoint a judge from outside Richland County to hear the case. Assistant Law Director Robert Sharp says once that judge is named, there will be no more delays.
They will appoint a judge. It's my understanding that this would be immediately set for a full bench trial. There won't be continuances.
After being charged in February, Dingus resigned as mayor. His resignation letter, less than 20 words, written on a half-ripped piece of yellow paper, read in part, "I am resigning, not under stress, but under duress." This is not Dingus's first run-in with police. Last July, video showed him hitting a man who was trying to get away from police with his car. Not once, but twice. Dingus is charged in that case, which heads to court in November. As for what's next, there is no trial date yet. That clock doesn't start until the Ohio Supreme Court names a new judge. We'll be sure to keep you updated. Isabella Roberts, 19 News.
A suspect in a Willoughby murder case turns down a plea deal for the second time. He is accused in the shooting death of a 20-year-old at an apartment complex.
Going to take his chances, I guess. First at 4, Brittany Weir is live in Paynesville as this case now turns to the start, Brittany, of a murder trial.
Yes, Antoine Graves, who you said again is charged in connection with that deadly shooting in 2025 of a Euclid man at a Willoughby apartment complex. Well, Graves was back in court today, and he turned down a plea deal, telling the judge he wants a jury to decide his fate.
State of Ohio versus Antoine R. Graves.
Antoine Graves back in court Wednesday afternoon. He is one of 5 suspects charged in the 2025 shooting death of 20-year-old DeMonte Perry at an apartment complex on Fox Run Drive in Willoughby. But this was not the first time that Graves was offered a plea deal. But once again, he said no, leaving his fate up to a jury.
It is the state's understanding that the defendant has previously rejected this offer and is prepared to do so again today.
Prosecutors offering one more time some leniency. The deal: plead guilty to complicity to murder, aggravated robbery, and tampering with evidence, with the remaining 7 counts dropped at sentencing.
Mr. Graves, do you understand what the offer is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about the offer?
No, Your Honor.
And after speaking with counsel, is it your decision to reject that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Graves' attorney told the judge that he walked his client through all the evidence the state would likely present at the trial and the consequences if convicted.
I believe at this time, Your Honor, he's prepared to make a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary decision, and he has decided to reject the plea offer, and he would like his jury trial to commence.
As Graves was let out of the courtroom in handcuffs, he turned back toward his family, sharing a parting message.
All right, love you. I'm good, homie. All right, see you. I'm gonna call you, all right?
He has been in jail now for 10 months with no bond. And Graves' jury trial is now set for August 24th. Another suspect in this case, Vance Triplett, was convicted of several murder charges last week. He will be sentenced in September. In Lake County, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
19 Crime Alert now. Do you recognize the man on your screen? Police in Cleveland want to talk to him about a break-in at a business on the west side. The pictures are a little bit blurry, but it's still good enough that you may be able to recognize who he is, maybe the coat that he's wearing. If you know who this guy is, give police a call.
Police in Orrville are also hoping someone watching this can tell them who this woman is. Investigators say she tried to get money out of someone else's bank account by using a fake ID. Pretty good picture here. So if you know who this is, give Orrville police a call.
Well, this has been going on for a while, right? Ohio's tax holiday, but it is going to have a very different look than it did last year. You won't save, unfortunately, as much money.
Yeah, it's a big hit as parents get ready to do some back-to-school shopping. 19 Data journalist Dan DeRose is here to walk us through the changes, at least this year.
Remember, last year the legislature expanded this. Lawmakers said, hey, let's not make it one weekend. Let's make it 14 days, and let's not just make it on clothes and school supplies. Let's make it on anything you want to buy under $500. That's not going to be the case this year. It's going to be one weekend, next weekend, and it is limited to just school supplies at $20 or less and clothes and shoes at $75 and less. Here's part of the reason. The 2023, this was a one weekend year. $22.7 million were saved by you because you didn't pay sales taxes. That's kind of a hit to counties. Remember, counties can tack on the extra tax, and that money did not go into the general fund. But the legislature said we want to do more. In 2024, they upped it to 10 days, and you could buy a lot more than just shoes and clothes and school supplies. But look at the hit. And part of that, the legislature said, whatever the counties miss out on, we will pay for it from the general fund. We will make sure that schools and libraries don't miss out on a 10-day savings period. So look at the jump from 22 million to 162 million. What about last year? It went to 14 days on anything under $500, $240 million. So again, this year, no, it's just going to be one weekend, and it'll be somewhere a savings around that.
It has been a win for all Ohioans taking part in the program. You know, we always like to save our Ohioans any tax money wherever we can. So we're very proud of the way the program has gone, as the back to school sales tax holiday, and as how it's run the last 2 years in its expanded form.
And here's the good news is that the legislature in June voted that next year, when we have the tax holiday, they will go back to the expanded 2 weeks and anything under $500. So we miss out on the savings this year, but it will be there next year.
Now your 19 First Alert traffic update.
No accidents to talk about on the freeways between Cleveland and Akron. We're looking good to go as far as that's concerned, but slow spots and their typical spots here. Interbelt southbound, basically from Dead Man's Curve to 77. We're going about 18 miles an hour. I said this earlier, it's not totally bumper to bumper, but certainly it is slow. So if you do need to get to somewhere in a hurry, probably the Shoreway to West 25th Street, especially east side to west side, going to be your best bet if you want to get to I-71 or 90. Further to the south, I-480. right at I-77 where the express lanes come into the local lanes here over the Valley View Bridge, only about 37 miles an hour. So no major slowdowns, but you see those backups here as things are getting a little heavy there, 480 westbound at I-77. So again, allow yourself some extra time, or if you know someone traveling that way, make sure they know there are a few slowdowns in that general area. Also 480, the ramp basically from US 422 and I-271 to 480 westbound, a little bit slow over there, going about 39 miles an hour. But the good news is, again, no accidents to tell you about just yet. We'll talk about those drive times coming up in just a little bit.
A 19 consumer alert now, so brace yourself for a surge in ransomware attacks in the coming weeks.
Okay. Consumer reporter Jen Pachano explains why now, as opposed to other times, I guess, is such a critical time for these scams. And what you can do, this is important now, to protect yourself.
Buying season is ransomware season. Chris Nihus, a cybersecurity expert and CEO of Cincinnati-based Vigilant, says now is an opportune time for ransomware attackers to use stolen identities because people are spending more money between the onset of back-to-school shopping and high summer travel season.
And they're not looking at their credit card statements as precisely as they would during, say, January to June, right? Where there's a lull, there's not as many holidays, there's not as much travel, and things aren't going to pop up as an anomaly.
Despite alerting their credit card companies to upcoming trips, he says travelers become identity theft victims when they share their trips on social media in real time.
They'll post, I'm traveling to Cancun, I'm traveling to Europe, I'm traveling here. So once you start traveling and now you have, these identities stolen, they watch that. And when you travel to Europe, now they make a purchase in Europe and you've already told your credit card company that you're traveling to Europe and that everything's going to be fine. So they time this with your movements and what you do, right? And they're very, very good at what they do.
To protect yourself during this heightened activity, he says freeze your credit now by contacting the 3 leading credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, to save yourself from about 90% of the cost and trouble that comes from identity theft. Experts also suggest getting at least $1 million in identity theft protection through your auto insurance provider, because that's how much it costs to recover from identity theft. And when you want to share all those vacation pictures, it's a good rule of thumb to always post the past after you come home from a trip, not in the future or the present. Jen Pachano, 19 News.
If you plan to park anywhere in the Village of Peninsula, it's going to cost you. The Village will begin charging for all public parking starting Monday. There are 320 paid parking spots that include both on and off-street parking. You're going to have to pay through the Pay by Phone app.
Please remove them from the room.
Well, there was dramatic testimony during the high-profile congressional hearing for Dr. Anthony Fauci. You just heard Senator Rand Paul throwing Fauci's attorney out of the chambers. The doctor repeatedly invoking his Fifth Amendment right. He is retired now, but was the head of infectious diseases during the pandemic. Many of the questions today were about Fauci's knowledge of where the coronavirus came from.
How about this? No more humanoid robots from foreign companies. That's the new rule handed down by the Trump administration. Administration officials say letting these imported robots in could be a threat to national security. China makes the vast majority of the human-like robots.
The president just announced a sweeping makeover of Dulles International Airport, including new terminals, the removal of the airport's aging shuttles known as people movers. President Trump and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy just wrapped up a news conference where they laid out the details of this renovation plan.
Fire crews in southwest France are really having a tough time now battling this massive fire, 4 times the size of the city of Paris. Temperatures are forecast to climb above 104 degrees there today, which of course is making this that much more difficult. Right now, more than 2,000 firefighters are mobilized in France and in Spain, and sadly, 3 firefighters were killed today alone. Breaking at this hour, people living south of Green Bay, Wisconsin, now getting their first really close look at the absolutely awful devastation caused by a massive tornado. It's just block after block of this. You see those homes were moved, actually. Homes are destroyed. This is the city of Appleton. The good news really is that no one was killed or even seriously hurt, but this is certainly a life-altering event for a lot of people for sure. Storm hit in the middle of the day when most people were not at home.
Back in Northeast Ohio, police in Elyria are issuing a reminder no one is allowed to swim in the Black River. Officials say someone has been posting about a meetup on social media, but police say drinking alcohol in a city park is illegal, and so is cliff jumping into the river. Park rangers will be looking for anyone partying in the area.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast, certified most accurate since 2004.
Well, it has been a little bit of a breezier day today. We said that was going to be the case both yesterday as well as today as we waited for this bigger pattern shift to start to take hold. So you take that live look from our Madison camera, you can see that American flag blowing pretty steadily in the wind because out of that north wind, I mean, we've seen some gusts through today that have easily been upwards of 25, even 30 miles per hour. Headed into tonight, it is still going to be gusty, especially prior to sunset. Once you get past sunset and you lose some of that daytime heating, it will slowly start to improve. A lot of this has to do with just kind of how this pattern is starting to change a little bit over the next 24 hours. But the big theme is that you're still talking about a north wind through the day tomorrow. So that should keep things pretty comfortable here across our area. And that is the good news for many of us. Maybe you want to take a little bit of a break from the AC. Totally understandable these kind of days when we get this low humidity. Open up some of those windows. Your sleeping forecast for tonight, very comfortable. That north wind, especially if you have any north facing windows, will allow some of that nice cool air to get in here. And we're talking about that lower humidity still sticking around through tonight and likely through the day tomorrow as well. If you're headed out to the Lake County Fair, honestly, out in Painesville, things are looking pretty nice. I mean, you're going to have a lot of sunshine here as we go through the day tomorrow. Friday, not looking bad either, though. You'll have a couple clouds starting to work in, and it will be just a little bit warmer with that temperature as we look to close out the week. That's as you're starting to build in a little bit more humidity and eventually a better opportunity for rain. More on that part of your forecast coming up here in just a little bit.
Seniors at a local apartment complex say they've had enough of a lack of management.
Yeah, so they're demanding answers from the New York-based company with really a problematic track record.
For the 19 troubleshooters, here's Madison Green.
Trash pile up, unkempt grass, dog poop, and residents say even bed bugs.
The sign out there says luxury apartments, and they are nice, but they have to be maintained.
Angela Brown gave her management at Parma Village Senior Apartments a deadline of August 8th to fix just some of these problems she and other residents have been dealing with by themselves.
We've gone through probably 4 managers, and we've had, at one point we had no maintenance and no housekeeper, and the building was just filthy.
Even though she says those positions have been filled, Brown and other residents began logging their complaints and documenting the delivery to the on-site manager.
I had to do it that way, so make sure that they got it, because the corporate office wouldn't even tell me where the district manager was.
I reached out to the owner group One Clover Management for comment and haven't heard back. The group based in New York reached a $7 million settlement in 2022 tied to accessibility issues, like inadequate handicap parking at several of its properties, including Parma.
Parking is very limited. There's even a space out there for potential residents, and we're not supposed to park there, but if there's no handicap space available, I park there.
Brown hoping the meeting encourages her neighbors to force change.
What do you hope to see in that August 8th meeting?
I hope to see that people are still on board with pushing back to the local management all the way up to the corporate.
In Parma, Madison Green, 19 News.
And if you have a problem you would like us to address, call our 19 troubleshooter tip line. That number is 216-250-1618.
Now your 19 First Alert traffic update.
Pretty jammed up on the Interbelt right now, especially toward Chester Avenue. Pretty much backed up all the way on the East Shoreway to East 55th Street. So very slow conditions. Again, the Shoreway will serve you better if you want to get into downtown from the east side, and of course West 25th Street off the Shoreway if you want to get to the west side if you're in a hurry. But really just allow yourself some extra time if you are headed that direction. Meantime, we're looking further to the south. I-480 still pretty slow from the Valley View Bridge all the way to basically the Jennings Freeway here. We're going about 40 miles an hour. Again, allow yourself some extra time. The good news is with both of these backups, we're pretty much not bumper to bumper, but it's still kind of slow out there. So again, allow yourself some extra time. Let people know that's coming home from work. Give them some extra time here as well. We're also slow from 277 down to basically exits on the south side of Akron. We're going to about 30 miles an hour speeds there. Here's a look at that on I-77 South. We're really backed up on this exit right here. So if you're traveling from Akron to Canton, maybe need to catch a flight, probably good to take an alternate route if you're headed down to the Akron-Canton Airport here. Let's take a look at those drive times. Again, we're slow all three of these zones that we're looking at. 90 westbound, Dead Man's Curve to I-71, 6-minute time frame there. It usually takes about 2 or 3 minutes, so we're double the speeds there. I-480 westbound, I-271 to 77, we're at about 8 minutes, and 77 south from downtown Akron to Akron-Canton Airport, taking you about 13 minutes right now.
All right, the Browns kicking off day one of training camp in a really big way, signing safety Grant Delpit to a new deal worth $48 million.
Yeah, Leah Doherty was out at practice and joins us with more on another key piece of the defense that the Browns have locked down for the years to come.
A new season begins with the start of training camp here in Berea. A new head coach, a lot of new faces, of course, a quarterback competition. But one thing remains consistent, and that is the veteran presence of Denzel Ward.
I'm all in for Cleveland. I'm a Cleveland kid through and through, and this is where I'm at, and this is where I want to be.
The Browns locking him down to a 2-year extension yesterday worth $62.2 million. With the trade of Myles Garrett, there were questions if Ward would be next. He admitted that's why he skipped OTAs and sat for most of minicamp was because of ongoing contract negotiations.
I get traded or go to a different team, that's where I'm supposed to be, and that's what's meant for me. I just enjoy playing the game of football, so wherever I'm at, I'm going to go give my best effort and make plays and be that shutdown corner wherever I'm at.
Now the Macedonia native is under a new deal, once again making him the highest paid cornerback in the NFL.
No, it's exciting just to still play for my hometown team. Like I said, being an Ohio kid and just working towards my goals. So, got the contract, but, I just enjoy playing football, and I'm glad to continue to do that.
I'm happy for him. To continue to play at a high level and always be a Cleveland Brown, being from here, I think it's really cool. I think, I was fired up for him. He had a big smile on his face yesterday. It's been something that I know Andrew's been working on, and I know we're fired up.
And as far as that quarterback competition is concerned, Todd Monken said nothing changes as we start training camp. He'll split reps between all 4 QBs, with Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders getting the reps with the ones. And in terms of a timeline as to when he might name a starter, he said that's up to them. He said week 1 we will have a starting quarterback, but it is up to Deshaun and Shedeur to state their case and make it known who should be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Here in Berea, Leah Doherty, 19 News.